opinion. The first thing is, do not refer to any YouTube channels and just see that you are coming out with original ideas. You should never get carried away by what a repeater says or what a normal officer in the armed forces says, because a normal officer in the armed forces is not an assessor. We do a course for about a very tough course to become assessors. That is after about 15 to 20 years of service. Now, most of the candidates, what they do is they ask a guy who has been not recommended some 10 times, that guy doesn't become an assessor. If he was so good, he should have been in the academy. And if he is going to give advice to the people, it is foolish of them to take their advice. Similarly, there are officers who are not assessors who keep giving advice to the candidates. Now, they might know general things, but they don't know what are the specific things that we are looking for in a candidate. And a coaching academy can actually sharpen the skills of a guy who is somewhere there and tell him, okay, this is, you are committing this minor mistake, and if you are able to correct it, you might be able to make it. But as far as I am concerned, it is better not to refer to any SSB books, which is not going to help in any way. It is the SSB books can tell you what is the procedure that is followed in the SSB, which you can take it, because that doesn't change. But if you are going to do only what the SSB books or some digital media is telling you, this is how it is supposed to be done, you are supposed to write this answer, you are not supposed to do. For example, in WAT they will tell you, you should not write any proverbs. Now some of the proverbs, one or two proverbs can always come in your WAT. Similarly, they will tell you, you should not use I, you should not use should. These are various things which you should not tell any candidate. The moment you tell a candidate, you should not be doing this or you should be doing this, his line of thinking or his thinking gets interrupted. So he is basically, what he is trying to do is, he is trying to remember those things what somebody has told him when he is giving the test. And he will not be able to give a exact reflection of his thoughts when he is stuck up with these preconceived ideas. So ideally, it's better not to listen to any of this gyan of any any unqualified chap giving advice. This is my sincere advice to all the candidates who are appearing for the SSB. Just be yourself. Even with all the coaching, the percentage of guys who get recommended in the SSB is about 2% or 3% for graduate entries, and maybe 12 to 15% for NDA. That does not change with all these things coming up. So ideally, you open up yourself and be yourself, and let the assessor decide whether you have it in you or not. If he feels that you are having it in you, he will select you. If he feels he doesn't have it in you, he will not select you. But the moment you start giving preconceived responses to in any of the tests, the assessor will not be able to read his personality, and therefore the benefit of doubt goes to the service and the guy doesn't get recommended. But if he opens out and say, okay, we come to know that this guy, being a young chap, he has done little bit of masti in his school days, but at the same time he realizes what he has done is wrong, and he is trying to correct his mistakes, and he has got an ability to think logically. Though he has done mistakes, he has got flaws, but then he would make it to an average officer. If the assessor thinks he would make it to an average officer, he will definitely recommend him. It's not necessary that he has to follow all preconceived ideas. Then if he follows preconceived ideas, again 99.9% the chances are that he will be dropped.